So there's some higher intelligence involved somehow. Because I'm going to talk about thoughts being things. First of all, I want you all to know that beach was wonderful. Yes. I'm very relaxed. And if I just doze off here, just poke me, okay? It was very, very rejuvenating, and I'm very grateful that we have a system where we get to go do things like that. And of course, life continues even when you're off having a good time, right? Yeah. And there are always opportunities to learn. It just seems to be the nature of life, and I'm not resistant to it. I'm quite aware of it, and I can go with this. I have learned that things in life happen specifically because of our consciousness, and our consciousness is made up of thoughts. We think things, or we have beliefs. We don't actually need to state them, but that's when our consciousness is revealed to us, is when we think things. And if we're not paying attention to what we're thinking, then they'll show up as the circumstances of our lives, because that's where they come from. That's where the circumstances, the situations, the experiences we have come from, is from our consciousness, from our thinking. That's how it's designed. For example, Barbara and I went to have this wonderful beach that we're going to. We've been going for years, but we stopped and went to another beach in another part of Florida, and now we've returned. And one of the joys is that rather than having to carry our carts up a set of stairs, they've built a ramp. And it's lovely, so there's none of that. And the parking lot is very nice. And they used to have an attendant that would take your money for parking. They don't have it anymore. It's a self-service parking system. So you go to a machine, and you put your money or your credit card in it, and it gives you a little ticket, and you have to tell the machine what your license number is on your tag so that they can identify you. You take this little sheet of paper and you put it on your dashboard. Well, this is all well and good, and the mechanics of it is that I would start unloading our gear, and Barbara would go get the parking ticket, and she was having trouble getting the credit card to go in and come out and slide in a way that would register it. And yes, I was a little judgmental of Barbara, thinking, what's wrong with you? Like this. And of course, the first time I did it, I went over and put it and pulled it out, and it worked fine. I said, see? This is called karma. So each day, we found that the machine was progressively more difficult, and I said, oh, it really does get stuck there. And so it's really basically by the third day it stopped working. And what Barbara noticed there was a sign in the parking lot that said, you can pay for your parking for your smartphone. Just download this app. So I did. It was lovely. I downloaded the app and I said, from now on, I'll just do it on my phone. It'll be great. And that was fine with Barbara because she didn't like dealing with that machine. The last time she did, there was like a line of Canadians trying to get it to work, and they were all cursing in French. So I said, we have to beat this. So the first day that I did it on my phone, we don't get a little piece of paper off my phone. So they just check the tag number. So we went to the beach, had a wonderful day. We came out. There's a ticket on my dashboard, on my windshield. A ticket? That system doesn't work. Stupid system. Now, I don't bother to read the ticket. Barbara reads the ticket. She says, oh, this isn't for the parking. Your tag is expired. Damn, it says January 17th, 1/17. So the rest of the week, obviously I can't get my tag, my little sticker in Miami. So I keep putting the ticket back up on the windshield so they won't give me another one. I've been wrong and said, we're going home today. I did not get another ticket, but I kept seeing and dealing with this ticket over and over and over again. And I'm wondering, what is that in my consciousness? Because I wanted, of course, to blame the state of North Carolina for not sending me the notice so that I could pay for my tag, because that's what they do. But they're not my keeper. They're not. It's my job to make sure the tag, the registration for my truck is up to date. My job, my work. So it was my lack of attention that created that scenario. And I'll fix it this week, and it's a nuisance thing. It's not like something is terribly wrong, but it was just one of those things in life that kind of provoked me into that thinking about how we create stuff in our lives. And we all do. Is there anybody here that just has nothing that in their life that like that? No nuisance stuff or no big stuff? You know, the big stuff comes too. You know, the doctor tells you that you have this serious thing going on in your body. It take your breath away. You're not quite sure what to do about all that. You know, or you look in your bank account and the amount that you have owed in bills does not match the amount in your bank account. And that gets your attention, and it's not fun, it's not pleasant. Having things going on in our life that are contrary to having a good time and everything being party city it seems to happen to us. So I'm pondering that thought of our work here is to have the healthy-minded lives that we want. That's what New Thought tells us we get through this. And there's still work to do, because we still have the stuff that comes from time to time and distracts us from the joys and the pleasantries of life, which is what we want to experience. So how do we turn that around? It occurred to me that we have this built-in tool that works brilliantly all the time. And it works according to the laws of spirit. The spiritual law functions with this tool. Now, we know that when we think the thought, it impresses upon the law, and it turns into some condition in our lives, whether it's, you know, some physical form or some relationship or some condition in our body, that our thoughts are driving that. That's basic metaphysics, is that that's where our lives are created internally. Barbara talked about this last week while I was sitting on the beach. That it's inside of us. It's not inside our bodies, but inside our consciousness, that everything that we experience on the outside is created. That is absolute, no exceptions. The question is, can we observe and see how that's happening? Well, I want to talk about this tool that always works. Always works. It's called worrying. It's brilliant. No, think about it. It works automatically. We get, oops, oh, got you there, didn't I? I don't know, I touched the power pack in my pocket. Okay, I guess I wanted to get your attention even more. So this thing called worrying works so automatically. We get an image of something that could happen or has started to happen. And we have thoughts about it. We don't want it. We don't like it. We want it to go away. That's really all we want. But in thinking about it, not wanting it, what are we focused on? It. That is the subject. The condition that we don't want is what's showing up in our lives. And by worrying about it, you get it more and more and more. And I thought about, you don't have to try to worry. You're going to try to worry? No, it just happens. It's automatic. You just go, oh, and the pictures in your mind just keep going by. And if they don't stay the same, they get worse. They get more of what you don't want, because that's the focus. You're focused on what you don't want, so you're getting what you don't want. And it just kind of takes over into auto drive. Now, what I want to compare that to in its efficiency, you're not going to like. I trust you're not going to be offended by this, but it's just too good not to use. Worrying is cancer of the mind. It's cancer of the mind. Think about cancers. Cancer cells are in everybody's body. They just are. But your immune system, a healthy immune system, just gobbles them up, destroys them, and that's fine. So your body maintains that. However, if your body allows them to create in numbers, then suddenly they have some presence that won't go away, and they will grow and grow and grow and grow and become a serious problem. Worrying does exactly the same thing. If you have a thought of something that's not working out, and it's a fleeting thought and it just goes away, I don't think that it does anything to us. I think those thoughts are just life. But when they become repetitive, when they keep showing up, when we can feel them in our bodies, we can feel it as we're seeing or imagining an outcome that we don't want, now they've created mass. Now they have some control of themselves. And that's where the challenge comes. However, the mechanism of it is fascinating to me, that it just does its own thing. Why can't we experience that the other way? Why can't we have the joyful pictures and images? Why can't we have the desired outcomes with the same system? Well, I don't know. Let's play with the idea. Going back to this idea of worrying. Every worry is wrapped in something. You know what it is? Fear. We're afraid something's going to happen in the future that we don't want. So it's almost like we gift wrap this thing in fear. And that gives it punch, it gives it strength, it gives it vitality to move forward, because that's a real emotion that really has substance to it. If we, in turn, instead of getting caught up in this, and we will, and we have all tried this thing of, don't worry. People have written songs about it. How's that working out? You can't not do something. You can't just create a void and say, okay, I won't do that anymore. What are you going to fill it with? It's going to fill with something, and chances are it's going to be something very similar to what you say you're not going to do. So you must move beyond that. We must all move beyond that idea of letting this thing just take its course. We must think. We must have thoughts that support us. All of us can do that. What we tend to do, though, with the worrying is that we keep thinking about what we don't want. That's not getting us where we want. It's the opposite. We must think about what we do want. And you've heard me say this 1,000 times, but it's still true. We must replace that with something that is desirable. And then we have to create a mechanism that will do the same thing that worrying does, but in the other direction. So what are we going to wrap this vision of something that we have, this idea of how we'd like it to be? What are we going to wrap it in? We're going to wrap it in love. The thing is that the worrying sort of comes automatically. It's self-driven. I'm not sure that we've gotten to a place in our psyche where we allow things to happen good for us without us putting some conscious attention to it. But that's a good idea. What else are you doing with your mind? An idle mind is a problem because it will go to the problems. It just will. So we must pay attention. Now that doesn't mean that every thought that goes through our mind has to be sweetness and light. There are those uh-oh moments, and we let them happen. We give them no power. We don't stay with them. We let them go. And then we think about what it is we want. In fact, we could use those moments of, as an opportunity to stop and have a different thought. Very consciously have a different thought about how we'd like it to be. Now, some of us are visual, some of us are kinesthetic. Visual people are going to have an image in mind. Kinesthetic people are going to feel it. Now, we can all do both, and I'm going to invite you today to look at doing both in your life, to not only see it, but to feel it, and ultimately to know it. Now, I'm not talking about doing affirmations. Affirmations are lovely, and I'm not taking anything from them. I'm asking you, though, to go a little deeper than that, to actually see that you can have a thought, a clear thought about how you want your life to be, wrap it in love, experience it fully, and let it be. Let that be the thought. And then do it again, and again, and again, and again. And let that come forth. And train our minds to move away from that thing of, this isn't working, this is hard, I don't know how, It's not what I want. When we put our thoughts there, we don't get anywhere. That's garbage thinking. I want you to join me in having thoughts that are clear, that are focused on what you want, but not about wanting it. You're focused on the outcome that you desire. And you wrap it in love. It's filled with joy. And you let it go. What a great way to use spiritual law. What a great system to replace this auto system of worrying. Now, some of you may say, I don't worry. That's great. Good for you. However, if you have nothing in your life that is unpleasant or not to your liking, yeah, I praise you. You're the Buddha. It's congratulations. But my guess is all of us have something to work on. All of us have something that's an irritant or a distraction or a confusion in our lives that we could turn around. So I want to do that with you today. So what I want you to do is close your eyes. I want you to think about something that kind of has gotten you. Maybe you're deeply engaged in worrying about it, or maybe it's just an irritant. I don't care what it is you pick, just pick something. And what I want you to do is go ahead and feel what that feels like. Think about whatever it is that takes you to. It's not pleasant, I know, we're not going to stay here long. But I want you to engage this for a moment, whatever it is in your life that still needs some attention, some shifting. Now I want you to push it away from you. See it getting smaller, off in the distance. There's distance between you and it. Go ahead, just let it go, let it go. And feel the feeling shift as it leaves. And all you're seeking to do is move to a place of neutral. Just push it off down the road. Bye-bye. Okay, now in that space of neutral, I want you to envision what it is that you desire in its place. What does that look like? Make sure you're in the middle of this image. Don't view it outside of yourself. Be in the middle of it. Observe yourself experiencing that which you are calling into your life. Be aware of how you're feeling about that. How does that feel? Look at the image just before you. What's there? Who's there? What's happening? Can you feel the joy of that well up as you envision it, as you see it happening? It's almost like you're watching a video of yourself experiencing the thing that you desire. Be aware of how it feels. Now wrap that whole image in love. Saturated with love. Open your heart and just let it be pure love. Right about now, you should be feeling wonderful. And I want to remind you how easy this was to do. As you open your eyes, I invite you to consider letting this be the new standard for how you think. Work from this place and see what happens in your life, because spiritual law cannot resist taking that image that you brought forth and turning it into your life. It cannot resist. It's here to do that. And what a way better life than anything you or I have ever worried about. This is the place to be. This is the life to have. We are a community of healthy mindedness, and we are finding our way into the light more purely and completely in every moment. Good for you. I love you very much. Thank you.
Our welcomers are up front. Who is here for the very first time today? If you're here for the first time, raise your hand. Let us welcome you. I know there are people here. Dan is pointing to Carrie's sister over there. And we have two people in the back that I forgot their name. And welcome, 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 welcome. Karen, Kathy, right? And Doug, Eric, nothing.
She's not a psychic.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. Anybody else here? Welcome to a place where we teach you how to think. And if you learn how to think, you can learn how to create anything that you want. And so welcome to a place where miracles are an everyday occurrence, because we have learned how to use the power of mind and create into our lives things that other people think are miraculous. For us, it's just another day on planet Earth of having our lives the way we want them. These people that welcome you have a gift for you, so they should find you after the celebration and give you that. If you want to know what's going on at the center, you can give us your name and address. We'll send you things. If you don't want mail things, give us your email address, and we'll send you emails. But we have great things going on here, and you know, this is the cool place in town. I'm really glad you're here and learn more about it and be a part of it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I'm going to invite our prosperity acceptors to come forward. Take out what you're going to give. Hold it in your hand. Well, thank you, darling.
Did you sign this check, please?
Sure.
It's all right, Jane's not done yet.
Thank you, darling.
Here we go.
Oh, good. Put it in your hand, cover it with your other hand. I like to bring it close to my heart. And what I know is that we live in an abundant universe where there is more than enough for all. That God is the source of all supply because God is all supply. That money is the action of the divine in our lives, and it is good and very good. And so we open ourselves to the abundance of the flow of money in and out of our lives, knowing that it blesses us, it blesses this center, and it blesses this world. Yes. I know that each one of us comes together this day to make this Center for Spiritual Living Asheville all that it was ever meant to be. It is a place of peace, a beacon of light, a tower of strength, and a fountain of wisdom that touches the lives of all who call it home. And we'll repeat our investment affirmation together aloud. I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses the world. And so it is.
Blessings are flowing, the gift is unsealed, life is unfolding, love is revealed, with open heart and open hands, I give and receive it now. Blessings are flowing. Unfolding, love is revealed, with open
it's as blessed because when we give, whatever it is we are giving, we go with the gift. There is only one. And so that energy that is us, spirit as us, moved through us in our giving. I see it as golden light pouring forth from each and every one of us, filling up this room from the floor to the ceiling, all between the walls. This air is rich and blessed with God as us. And as Spirit moves in our lives, things happen. So right here and right now, each and every one of us is touched. We are blessed and we are healed. And I know that that energy has to keep on moving. So out it goes to surround this world, to touch and bless and heal every being on this planet. Always here and always now, touching every one of us here today, everyone who has ever been here, and everyone yet to come. And so it is. Thank you.